Bernard asked earlier also about the seeds, whether when பருத்தி விதை வந்து நம்மளோட ட்ரெடிஷனல் seeds was costing 20 rupees. இன்னைக்கு கூட 50 rupees வாங்கலாம். But when BT Monsanto was introduced into the market, let's say 2003 when it came in, 450 grams இருக்கிற packet வந்து 1850 rupees. So a kilo எவ்வளவுன்னு பார்த்துக்கோங்க. So that's exactly what is driving them. So they are coming and repackaging something, and with advertisement, with their strength, basically they are just pushing what you already had, or actually like in education, like everywhere else, they're just pushing things that you already knew and say this is something new, repackage it and sell it. That's what happened, and that's what is happening. And today they have 95% of the market share, all owned by one company.
I'd like to ask a question. விவசாயிகிட்ட கடைசியாக இருக்கிறவங்க நான் வந்து சேலத்துலேருந்து வந்திருக்கேன். இப்போ நான் வந்து என்னோட தோட்டத்தில் பருத்தி போடுறதுக்கு நான் விதை வாங்க போன போது அவங்க கூட வந்து பெரியவர் ஒருத்தர் கூட்டிகிட்டு போயிருக்கேன். அவர் தான் எல்லாம் பண்ணுறாரு. என்கிட்ட பேசுறது வந்து விலையை பற்றி டீட்டெயிலாகவே சொல்லலை. அவர்கிட்ட என்ன சொல்கிறாருன்னா, நீங்கள் நாட்டுப்பருத்தி பருத்தி போட்டிங்கன்னா 5 இதழ் வெடிக்கும், நீங்கள் எடுக்கும்போது எடுக்கிறதுக்கு ஆள் கிடைக்க மாட்டாங்க, பூரா இருக்கும், அது கையை கிழிச்சிடும், இது வந்து பெருசா பந்து மாதிரி இருக்கும், 6 வெடிக்கும், உங்களுக்கு ஈஸியா இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு. அடுத்தது என்ன சொல்றேன்னா, நீங்க பருத்தி போடும்போது காய் வந்துச்சுன்னா கிளி வந்து கொத்தும், அது கொத்தாம இருக்கிறது நாங்க விதையிலேயே உங்களுக்கு தேவையான விஷயத்தை வச்சு கொடுக்குறோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி விற்கிறாங்க. அதையும் வாங்கி அவர் போட்டாரு, வந்தது என்கிட்ட பெருமையா சொல்றாரு. போகும்போது ஒரு கிளி கூட என் தோட்டத்துல விதை வந்து சாப்பிட்றது கிடையாது, அவ்வளோ எதிர்ப்பு சக்தியோட வச்சிருக்காங்க. பருத்தி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அவ்வளோ பருத்தி வருதுனாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் மண்டியில் கொண்டு போய் பருத்தி போடும்போது சொன்னேன், இது எடுக்கிறதுக்கு 1 கிலோ 40 ரூபா நீங்கள் போடுறீங்க, பாரம்பரிய பருத்தி 1 கிலோ 90 ரூபாய்க்கு போடுறீங்க, என்னங்க டிஃப்ரென்ஸ்னா அப்போ யோசிக்கிறாரு. இதுக்கு என்ன ஆச்சுன்னு கேட்டிங்கன்னா 11 மாதம் ஆயிருக்கு அவருக்கு இதை நான் சொல்லி புரிய வைக்கிறது. ஸோ இப்படி தான் மார்க்கெட்டிங் பண்ணுறாங்க. விவசாயிகள் எண்ட் யூஸருக்கு எப்படி ஈஸியாக இருக்கும், ஆள் ஈஸியாக கிடைப்பாங்க, பூச்சி வராது. பட் விலை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 4000 ரூபா.
அது ஏமாற்று வித்தை தான், வியாபாரம், வேற எதுவுமே கிடையாது.
Parents don't need it, better also don't need it. You said it, cotton. And the animals.
He was talking of cotton seed, but that's the standard thumb rule. குருவி சாப்பிடாது அப்படின்னாருல, பறவை சாப்பிடாது அப்படின்னாரு. பறவை சாப்பிடாதுன்னா மனுஷன் சாப்பிடக்கூடாதுல்ல, அது சாப்பிடாது நம்ம எப்படி சாப்பிட முடியும் அப்படிங்கிறாரு. பட் he is talking of the tricks used by a trader to basically fool a farmer. He says this will not happen, that will not happen. There are a lot of tricks they use. I mean, basically, for example, this BT is also coming in 750 names in the market. So this time you go and buy Deepthi, it didn't work for you. Next time you will go and buy Bunnies. That didn't work. Next time you will go and buy Ramya. By the way, I mean, wherever you go, I used to ask the farmers, why did you buy this seed? So one of the best answers I've ever got is, it's the name of my favorite actress, Ramya, for that matter.
சில விலைகள் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா தாராபுரம் கத்திரிக்காய் அப்படின்னு, அந்த கத்திரிக்காயை வந்துட்டு நான் இப்போ சென்னையில் வீட்டில் இருக்கிற கார்டனில் போட்டால் எனக்கு எந்த அளவுக்கு ஈல்டு இருக்கும், அதனால் அதுக்கு வந்து ஏன் அந்த குறிப்பிட்ட ஏரியாவுக்குன்னு சில விதைகள் வச்சுருக்காங்க, அந்த விதைகள் வந்து ஏன் அந்த குறிப்பிட்ட ஏரியாவில் தான் பயன்படுத்தணும்?
One particular area, will they grow only in that area, or will they also grow? The brinjal seeds from our particular area perform very well in that area. If you want to go with that seed to another area, there might be a period of adaptation. We are growing 25 varieties of brinjal on the farm, so the first few years we see some varieties have to adapt, some varieties don't. Yeah. That's why I think actually what has happened, the farmers have adjusted their brinjal plant to their soil, to their niche. Because you can't separate a plant from the soil in which it grows and from all the environmental factors and from the human growth. This is one thing. So when we talk about seeds, we cannot talk seeds separated from an environment, separated from a farm. The farmer can take the seed, I can take seeds from Odisha and make it to grow in my place. That is possible. I can adapt it. If it is a open pollinated seed, if it is a nut variety, yes. If it is a hybrid, I may not succeed because the genetic base has been reduced to inbreeding for making hybrid.
Sir, I'm Sibi. I'm a farmer. I came from Kerala. I just wanted to know whether use of biofertilizers conform to the standards of organic.
Biofertilizers to a large extent, like for example compost. Today, the government of India, through the Mahatma Gandhi Institute for Rural Industrialization, has also developed a protocol that any compost that comes in the market should have the following parameters. But at the same time, compost should never be compared in terms of NPK value, because compost is a holistic compound, not like 17 or percentages. Similarly, microbial fertilizers. Why our farmers got disappointed earlier was, when I buy a microbial fertilizer from the market, it should have microbial content to the tune of 10 to the power of 7. Then it's very rich. But by the time some of them are selling is 10 to the power of 2 or 3.
Therefore, conceptually, this is good. Conceptually, use of biofertilizers are
It's
good.
very good. It works. And unfortunately, some people have a feeling that if I put compost, everything should go on. It may not be so. Sometimes certain basic micronutrients may be required. So you may have to add more than one. So you may have to prepare some fruit solutions or eggshell solutions or panchakavya, all these combinations. Then it works out well. Like for example, for the coconut tree, doctors say that elanir is very good for health. But many places, they are putting a hole in the coconut tree and injecting a hormone,
Particularly from Pollachi.
and the coconut becomes big. So what you are drinking is chemical, not elanir. So our farmers, when they approach, how can we try to compete with them? What we do is take a dilute solution of panchakavya and vermiwash or one of these things, pick the soil, on one particular root, you clip it, put this solution in a plastic bag, keep it inside and tie it like your ICU, and the suction takes it up and grows it into a beautiful area.
Sir, now as you know, you have the liquid biofertilizers and different technology has been put into that.
Yes.
Therefore, it is that you also recommend use of biofertilizers.
Yes, sir, we recommend the use of the entire preparation of almost a dozen things are on my website for free for download. You can download.
Therefore,
Yeah, PDF. You can buy the book from me.
We have a booklet on Sadia for just 10 rupees.
10
I
rupees.
brought
All
it.
the
I
procedures.
brought it.
Which gives you all the procedures.
I brought it.
He has already brought it, so I can buy it.
Only sir, it has to conform to the standards which has been prescribed.
Most of these things we can do. So the idea of organic farming is not to pull a farmer from a chemical shop and send him to an organic shop. The idea of organic farming is pulling the farmer from the chemical shop, making him independent.
There are different school of thought. One school of thought, Palekar says, and one local one. Therefore, there is a bit of confusion.
I will clarify that. Palika's version of just Amrut Pani can work wonderfully well if your soil is already organic.
Correct.
The farmers who have already been doing chemical farming and who are on transient stage, when our soils are still not enriched with enough microorganisms, we do require some amount of inputs other than just Amrut Pani.
So I have two questions. So whenever we talk of farming, the first question I encounter is food security. How do we provide food security with organic farming? The second one is with the less number of people, more number of people moving towards other sectors, less mechanization, will it be enough?
The second question I will answer. The first question God is more perfect to answer. Mechanization. Nobody is against mechanization in organic farming. If you want to use a sprayer, you can use a sprayer. We are against using heavy machinery. Heavy machinery is different from mechanization.
Tractors.
Heavy tractors have come in and that causes compaction of soil. That causes compaction. Otherwise, sprayers, threshers, these are all big. These are all big. First question. You will be the better one.
Do I look like a person who has got...
He looks like a neta.
No, see, this... I had a question before, somebody else had asked. This question bothers a lot of people. Will organic feed everybody and will we have food security? I've got two replies to that. One is, if you go to any organic farm today and you compare the production on that organic farm with the production on any chemical farm, chances are that they will be producing the same amount per acre to compare. For example, you can see an organic sugarcane farm and a chemical sugarcane side by side, and they are both producing 40 tons. You take any crop that you want, whether it is ginger, coconut, rice, whatever it is. If you have a good organic farm, if you have a good chemical farm, chances are they will be producing. What happens is that when you change over from a chemical farm to an organic system, it depends on the condition of your soil. If you have already butchered your soil with tons of fertilizers and pesticides, you have removed all the life in the soil, you have killed all the earthworms, you have killed all the microbes, then obviously if you change over to organic system, you will have a problem, because in the organic system, the nutrients are supplied through the activity of the microbes. The microbes are not in the soil. So what you do is, through all the panchgavya and all the normal brews that you have got, you restock your soil with the beneficial soil microbes that are required. That may take sometimes 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. That may be sometimes the reason why there is a decline in production for the 1 or 2 years till the soil restores itself. Then afterwards, automatically, it reaches the same as any other farm. Now, this is not just what we have seen from experience. We have a book here which has now, I think you will show it, you will probably speak about it. The agricultural system, Indian agricultural research system has been doing work, comparative work on growing by organic and chemical means on all the agricultural institutes in different places. The thing is that they have never disclosed this material to the public. Now we have collected, through RTI we have to get some of this research because they were not willing to disclose it. You can see the impact of the chemical industry on the research institutions. That all the beneficial reports that came showing that in their field experiments, organic sometimes perform better than chemical, were not being released to the press. Finally, we have now collected all the research studies after doing RTI application, and now we have come out with a full book which documents all these research studies. So it's not only us talking, the agricultural science community is itself saying that if you grow food organically, you will not suffer, the security will not suffer, because organic performs in many cases as good as chemical, in many cases better than chemical. Does this satisfy?
Does chemical farming feed the world? Is chemical farming feeding the world? No, there are still 1 billion people suffering hunger in the world. But is it the purpose to feed the world, or is it the purpose to make money?
There's a basic difference, is in the case of chemical farming, we feed the plant. In the case of organic farming, we feed the soil. The soil feeds the plant. That's the basic difference between the two. And when you go into the market, now for example, these are my 2 hands. This hand has edema, swelling. This is normal. Which one looks beautiful? Tell me honestly. The one with the edema looks beautiful because it is red like a tomato and solid like a potato. Right? Looks beautiful. Why do you get edema? Because the salt gets deposited there, so the water comes and stays there. That's why pregnant women are asked to test albumin. Right? So it gets a swelling. The chemically grown vegetable has more salt content in it, and the water gets deposited. There's more water in that, so it looks beautiful and ripened. Whereas an organic one doesn't have enough salt deposit. The water does not go and lodge over there. Looks shriveled. But nutrition-wise, per dry weight basis, this has more value than that. Similarly, now that the mango season is coming, if you want to go to the market and buy mangoes, for all your information, don't go and just pick up the mangoes. Just wait and observe. The mangoes on which you see a lot of flies going and sitting, buy them because the flies know that it has no chemical on it. Right? Please try to use bioindicators and we can be successful.
One more. If in a farm where large number of people are doing inorganic farming, and in the center if I do organic farming, I mean they usually say that the pests from other fields will attack this field.
Yeah, because the food is good. But the basic difference in organic and chemical farming is in organic farming, you build up the immunological resistance in the plant. It is not pest control. It is building up an immunological resistance. And analysis today has proved that they have more amount of salicylic acid in them, which becomes an immunoresistant to other compounds over there. So it is not necessary. And at the same time, if you can go with not just single cropping, but with multiple cropping, some of them are able to provide resistance to pests from reaching these sort of crops. There are lots of examples of it.
Yeah, sorry, we will go to the questions later because there is something relevant I wanted to announce here. We were talking about, that is a question posed by everybody, from the policymakers to the industry, to the media, to the public, everybody, can you feed the world? Well, just two examples. One is 2012, the statistics, the world spent 1,600 or 745 billions on warfare equipments. And we didn't even spend 100 billion on attending to the poverty, not even a couple of billions. That's precisely the intent of the people who rule us. Second thing is, anyway, there is a question posed, we need to give them proper answer. This is not the right answer, in fact. So, from the system, basically, you will have to prove that, yes, you can produce, and yeah, there has been a problem of distribution, as he rightly said. Have we given enough to the people? No. But can organic produce is a question, very tangible question, where we have to give a tangible answer. As Claude opened up the answer a bit, basically there are researches, studies and tests that are being done across the world. We are not even taking from the world, we are taking only from the National Agricultural Research System, within the Indian system. Because suddenly if Claude or Bernard come and say, they know they have been the usual suspects who have been talking about organic, fighting the industry for donkey's years. So they basically, no pun intended, basically they have been fighting it, and people are going to say, okay, it's coming from the alternate world as usual. So we selected against a lot of odds. There are a lot of problems. There is a project called Modipuram project, initiated by the central government. It was from the NARS, National Agricultural Research Center, at 13 different locations in India. They had 17 crops. They had the same crop. It could be mustard, it could be okra, it could be wheat, it could be maize, it could be this. And the same, with same control factors, they also had chemically grown. And they have found uniformly in all the 13 locations, organic had more yield actually. That is from your research system, from our agricultural system. It was into agricultural universities and their premises. So basically there cannot be anything else. And in that, all this, some of them had more 5% more, some of them had 15% more, some of them had 25% more. That was the only difference. The soil fertility was better. The water used was lower. The energy dependency was lesser. It has basically proven in every parameter organic was better. But what happened? Did we know about this? No. Nobody knows even about the Modipuram study basically. What happened was we had to file a RTA and basically make a question to be raised in the parliament, and then based on it file an RTA, and we got the reply from the RTA later on. And see, that is just one study which I was talking about, where there are 13 different locations, and I have all those studies and what it says. And that is one study. We have 450 such studies in this compiled from various agricultural universities. There are ASHA volunteers who went in, sat, pilfered, and we have 450 such studies noted here with extracts. This is a tool to answer this for the policymakers, for all of us basically. So this is, today is also an occasion, apart from having the Trimurtis here, the CBI here, the CBI raid at OFM. You all know about that, right? Claude, Bernard and Professor Ismail. So these three people are the raiders of OFM today. So apart from that, one of the special things that we had today was release of a few books, very interesting books, absolutely informative, and we basically have it as a pleasure to release all that. first and foremost of that would be this collection of 450. It's not an interesting book to read, basically, not to carry out, but definitely very good to wave at people when they question you from the organic movement, especially when you are into the advocacy. And if you have to talk to the governments, if you have to talk to your agriculture department, if you have to talk to the universities, this is very important. So I would start with the release of this, and then to also tell you, because there was even at the last, but still I see some friends from the press also, so I wanted to announce about this and the few other books that we will carry today. Can I request as a photo op all the three of you to have a book of this, and then we will release it to a few people around here. I will. யாராவது photo பிடிச்சிட்டு அப்புறம் எனக்கு தாங்கப்பா. Yeah, whether it is systemic or not. So this is a book that will break that myth of anything called safe pesticides. So this is current price is 190. Today you can pick it up for 150, and you can ask any of them to sign on the book, all the three of them, and any number of times. Then there's another very
Right?
yes.
Rama, come here.
And meanwhile,
It's not you, Rama.
so if you all heard of Poolagin Nambargal, you all probably were there a couple of days back having their feast, right? Poolagin Nambargal bring out a lot of yeah, that's to Rama. Safe Festival Alvarez, நம்ம God Alvarez எழுதின நிறைய விஷயங்கள் இருக்கு. ஒவ்வொன்றுமே வந்து it's like amazingly well written, and one of the things that was very popular was about his gene robbery, the great Indian gene robbery. அதை தமிழாக்கம் பண்ணி மாபெரும் விதை கொள்ளை. This is your book in Tamil by Poolagin. Yeah, this is in Tamil. Did you? Yeah. Yeah. So that I want him to give it to R.R.Srinivasan of Poolagin Nambargal. R.R.Srinivasan. So this is another book that we want to introduce and want a lot of us to follow also. Poolagin Nambargal இது மாதிரி பல புத்தகங்களை கொண்டு வந்திருக்காங்க. எக்கச்சக்க புத்தகங்களை தமிழ்ல கொண்டு வந்திருக்காங்க. இங்க பாருங்க. Than introducing apple or soil to us, I would request Bhamini to come and collect it. Yes. For the soil recipes, I would think one of the consumer faces should know it, and you have been a fantastic consumer for us.
Congratulations. Your recipes are here.
Not for cooking. Tell about that.
Preparing materials for cooking.
Right, you got.
This is indirectly cooking. You have to first grow the plant with this and then cook the plant after that. But actually that book is prepared in consultation with only organic farmers who have been part of the process of preparing those solutions, including Dr. Natarajan's Panchagavya, the Sundaraman, Mohan Sundaram, all the organic farmers of Tamil Nadu were involved in preparation of all these nutritional solutions for the soil. They went through it. We got a good artist to present, draw these sketches, and then we got it back to them again, tell us if there's anything deficient in it, and they correct it, and once again, so it's really approved by organic farmers. And you can say bye-bye to chemicals forever after that, after you use that. Only for 10 rupees, price of 1 tea. Right.
So that's the price of 1 tea. If you want something for free, we have something for free also today here. You have a small password to tell to Gopi that you like Anantu, and you will get a book free of course. That's called Multiversity. Again, Claude's handwork. You can know more about Multiversity. This book is free. You can collect it by saying the password.
If there's more than 200 meters, you may escape. But you just put a mosquito net over your plant. So the bees cannot come. Theoretically, the bees, if they are still there, can fly to the bees and dive in. So it's not 200 meters recommended. That's not 100% safe. It's unlikely though that they will be contaminated if it's more than 200 meters. The best thing is you put mosquito net over your plant.
How about other plants also?
Other plants, there are other techniques which are described in the small booklet. So, in yoshes, in plants where there are male and female on different branches or on different plants, then you have to prevent pollen from another variety to come to yours. That means you close the flower. Then you have to pollinate yourself and then close it again. So you have a female flower in your pumpkin and a male flower. You close the female flower and you close the male flower so that no bee can put pollen from another variety. Then you open it very short, take the male flower, pollinate it and close it again. So that bee will not be able to extend the pollen. So for all plants are different methods. Describe it as small booklet.
All this way.
Yeah, all described. Don't ask any question now. Read the buy the book and read.
School trip we went to a farm, it's an organic farm in Maharashtra, and there the person taking care of the farm told us that organic farming is really easy, and that the produce that that is produced is equal to chemical farming. So I had a question that time which I wasn't able to get answered, so I thought I could ask you. So organic farming, like you said right now, is it sounds very easy. So why is it not spreading?
Well, if 100,000 people walk this side and one person wants to walk that side, it will be very difficult. But if more and more people start walking that side, it will become increasingly easy because we have to make space for the other ones also. There is no space for us. There is no space. The government, the radio, the TV, they only talk about the other side. They never talk about the opposite side. And easy is a little bit, it's a little bit enthusiastic to say that it is easy because of our de-schooling in organic farming. The young generation doesn't know anything about organic farming. They know only what the agriculture department tells them to do, what the extension officers tell them to do, and he tells them to spray that, to put this and to put that. So the cultural damage that all this has been done before the farmers used to know what they were doing. How they are dependent on so how is that clear information for them? So that it is easy, but it is not easy if you have gone far away from it. And the products are not. You can have a tomato with 16 minerals in it. You can have a tomato with 32 elements in it. They will look the same, but here you will have taste and nutrition and medicine, and here you will have oxidation, because fertilizers are radioactive and they oxidize, and organic farming contains the substances which are unknown. That's a very big difference, a very big difference. And the mineral content, Sultan explained, there is no comparison to the mineral content from the product. In the case you have water and diabetes, in another case you have food. In city, here, Chennai, every month, 95,000 cases of cancer are resistant, thanks to chemical farming.
So there's one more reason. For farming, you require money, right? So farmer goes for a loan, and the loan is not money. Loan is compulsory taking of chemical fertilizers, seeds, and chemical pesticides with little money. So sometimes there is no option for the farmer other than using what is being given to them. So that's another reason for why many people still are not able to change over. Maybe when you become officers, you must try to change all this. I'm happy to see all the young ones here.
எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். நான் தேனியிலேருந்து வந்திருக்கேன்.
எனக்கு ஒரு சின்ன சந்தேகம் உண்டு. ஆனால் இதில் தவறு இருந்தால் மன்னிச்சுக்கோங்க. இயற்கை வேளாண்மை என்பது இயற்கை நம்மளால உருவாக்க முடியுமா? இன்னைக்கு வந்து ஆர்கானிக்
கோழி அப்படின்னு வாங்கினா அது நாட்டுக்கோழி தான். ஆனா இன்னைக்கு கோழி என்ன பிராய்லர் பண்ணிருக்காங்க, நாட்டுக்கோழி நீங்க தனியா சொல்றீங்க. ஒரு காலத்துல விவசாயமே இயற்கையா நடந்துட்டு இருந்தது. அதுக்கப்புறம் அதுல வந்து இயற்கை பொருட்களை சேர்க்க ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. அது இயற்கை கிடையாது, இயற்கை பொருட்களை சேர்க்க ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. பக்க வச்ச சாணம், கோமியம், மற்ற இந்த மாதிரி பொருட்களை சேர்க்க ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. வேப்ப புண்ணாக்கு இதெல்லாம் சேர்க்க ஆரம்பிச்சாங்க. அதனால வந்து அது இயற்கை சார்ந்த விவசாயம், இயற்கை விவசாயம், இயற்கை சார்ந்த விவசாயம். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும்போது இன்னைக்கு வந்து திடீர்னு மக்கள் வந்து அதிக அளவு விவசாயம் சொல்லும் போது அந்த காலத்துல அதுதான் விவசாயம். இன்னைக்கு விவசாயம் சொல்லும் போது தனிப்பட்ட முறையில நீங்க வந்து ரசாயன விவசாயம் சொல்றது கிடையாது. இன்னைக்கு விவசாயம்னாலே ரசாயனம். அப்ப அது தெரியாம மாத்தி சொல்றதுக்கு இயற்கை சார்ந்த விவசாயங்கிறது வந்து இயற்கை விவசாயம் பேச ஆரம்பிச்சு. அது உண்மையாவே இயற்கையா நடக்கல. அது வந்து நேச்சுரல் ஃபார்மிங். இயற்கையா நடந்தது நேச்சுரல் ஃபார்மிங். புக்குவக்கா பண்ணி இருக்கிறாரு, சில பேர் பண்றாங்க இன்னும். ஆனா இயற்கை சார்ந்த முடிஞ்ச அளவுக்கு நாங்க இயற்கையை பாதிக்காம விஷங்களை சேர்க்காம ஒரு நல்ல பொருட்களை சேர்த்து உருவாக்க முடியுமா அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு முயற்சியில தான் ஈடுபட்டு. இன்னைக்கு அந்த முயற்சியில ஈடுபட்டு இருக்கிறோம். நம்ம ஜெனரேஷன் இப்போ ஆரம்பிச்சோம். இன்னைக்கு பார்க்கும்போது வேடிக்கை இருக்கு. இவரு நம்ம ராமு அனுபவம் சொன்னாங்க, ஒரு நாள்லயே 150 பேர் வந்து ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிட்டாங்க எங்களுக்கு 1.5 நாள்ல அப்படின்னாங்க. இவங்களெல்லாம் ஞாபகம் இருக்கும். நாங்க 79, 80 வந்து போய் பண்ணும் போதுங்க ஆரம்பிக்கிறோம். ஒருத்தர் வரலைங்க. போய் கெஞ்சி கூப்பிட்டு வந்தோம். எங்க உட்காரிங்களா, நீங்க கேட்குறீங்களா, நாங்க பேசுறோம். ஆனா இன்னைக்கு வந்து இந்த அளவுக்கு ஒரு அவேர்னஸ் வந்துருக்கு. இப்ப நாங்க மறைகிற காலம். இப்ப நீங்க எல்லாம் இன்னும் பண்ண ப்ராபபிலி அகெயின் அக்ரிகல்ச்சர் மீன் இட் இஸ் நேச்சுரல். அது சார்ந்து தவிர அது இயற்கை கிடையாது. நீங்க சொன்ன வார்த்தை கிடையாது. ஆக்சுவலி இங்கிலீஷ் டிரான்ஸ்லிட்ரேஷன் பண்ண முடியாது.
அதாவது இலக்கண பிழை இல்லாம இலக்கிய பிழை இல்லாம நான் சொல்றதுக்காக கேட்கலையா? இயற்கை உருவாக்க முடியுமா? இன்னைக்கு மக்கள் அதைத்தான் நிறைய பேர் வந்து தெரியாத இதுல ட்ரெடிஷனல் வே ஆஃப், அதாவது பாரம்பரியமான வேளாண்மை ஒவ்வொரு பகுதிக்கும் ஒவ்வொரு நாட்டிற்கும் ஒரு பாரம்பரியம். அந்த பாரம்பரிய வழியில வந்து விவசாயம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்களா, இல்ல அந்த விவசாயத்துக்கு மாறணுமா, இல்ல இயற்கைக்கே மாறணும் அப்படின்ற ஒரு இதுக்காக இந்த வார்த்தையை பயன்படுத்தி இன்னைக்கு அதுக்கு நிறைய பேருக்கு அர்த்தம் தெரியாம அந்த வார்த்தையை பயன்படுத்திட்டு இருக்காங்க. அதுக்காக தான் நான் கேட்கிறேன். ஏன்னா நீங்கள முன்னோடிகள், முன்னாள் வந்து நீங்க இது பண்ணதுனால பட் இந்த கேள்வி
மாடர்னா எப்படி செய்ய முடியும்? ஏன்னா அந்த காலத்துல வந்து 6 மாசத்துக்கு அப்புறம் அறுவடை, 4 மாசத்துக்கு அறுவடை ஆகணும். அது தகுந்த பொருட்களை என்ன தயாரிக்க முடியும் இயற்கை பாதிக்காம. அப்படிதான் செஞ்சுட்டு தவிர அது இயற்கைன்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. இயற்கை தயாரிக்க மனிதனால் இயற்கையை இன்டர்பிரட் தான் பண்ண முடியுமே தவிர இயற்கையை உருவாக்க முடியும்.
அதுதான் உருவாக்க முடியாதுன்றது நிலை தெரியும். மக்கள் அந்த
சரிங்க, அது நெகட்டிவ்ல இருக்கு. அதனால பாசிட்டிவா பேசுறோம்.
He is giving a more positive one. He said it's very negative.
Organic farming, the father of organic farming is R.R.Srinivasan. You have heard about R.R.Srinivasan.
Compost.
Indoor. It is composting.
Indoor method.
Yeah, indoor. We learn from the local farmers this method and develop it. And then we cook it further. But then he went to England, back. And so he couldn't talk about indoor system in England. That's why Lord Bob, one of his disciples, calls it organic, from organism. A farm is an organism whereby livestock, grazing, fruit trees, everything works like a living organism. And from there they have taken organic. Organic comes from nothing to do with organic chemistry or anything. It comes from organism. And so they couldn't call it indoor system, and they found the name and called it organic. It doesn't matter how you call it, just do it.
No.
So they can use GM and still call it
No. GM is not.
Because in GM the pesticide is included. You see, the plant produces pesticide. It is a pesticide plant.
Hybrid seeds.
Hybrid seeds are sterile. It is, to make a hybrid, you have to do inbreeding. Right? And inbreeding means degeneration. So they will take cultivars, do inbreeding,
do another cultivar, do inbreeding 5 times, up to 6 times they will inbreed until all the characteristics except one is safe. And then they cross them and then they have so-called hybrid figure, which is all scam.
இப்போ வந்து கேள்வி என்னன்னா, இப்போ நெல் பயிர் பண்றோம்னா அதுக்கு சப்போர்ட்டிங் கிராப் வந்து எது பெட்டர் கேட்டா, நான் ஒரு விவசாயி, ஏதோ எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச அளவுக்கு நேச்சுரல் முறையில விவசாயம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன். இப்போ வந்து ஒரு கிராப் மட்டும் தான் போடுறேன், அதனால வந்து களை அதிகமாகுது. Yes, paddy and uranda.
It's also growing down. See, that depends on the soil. Traditionally, after a paddy they were growing mustard because it reduced conditions. Mustard.
Oh, a companion crop. Companion crop.
It also depends. Is it dryland rice or irrigated rice? Dryland rice.
Yes.
But dryland rice, it would be difficult, but you could grow the old variety of karamani. You know karamani?
Yes.
It's not copy.
It's Karamani.
It's a small seed.
Yes, I know, sir.
Which is spreading on the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, you can grow dryland rice with karamani. And it spreads on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's going to flower when the rice is cut, or it is ready for harvesting when the rice is cut. It's a spreading liquid.
It grows this high and it spreads.
Does it come over the rice? No, it is not climbing.
It's a cover crop. It's a cover crop.
It's a cover crop.
It's a cover crop.
But yeah, it all depends on the duration.
The direct
கொல்லு போடலாம். கொல்லு போடலாம்.
மரத்தடியில நல்லா வளரும்.
கொல்லு.
Okay for you in paddy. Oh, in dryland. If you can sow it very late, you can grow tovari.
Yes,
If it is tovari, you can grow in lines. And moche is also sometimes was grown. Yeah, I can't just. I would have to see the practical condition, but I know that it can be grown with tovari and moche in lines.
பேடியில உரந்தால் போடலாம்.
If it is dryland. If you grow motakar or any car variety, you can.
Thank you, sir. புளி வெடிச்சல். புளி சம்பா. புளி சம்பா புளி வெடிச்சல்.
Samba is irrigated, right?
இல்ல இல்ல.
என்ன பேர்?
புழுதி சம்பா புளி வெடிச்சல். புழுதி சம்பா. We have traditional varieties.
Any other question?
Where do we stand as far as seed conservation is concerned, sir?
Just one minute.
Hello. Yeah, I have one question. What normally farmers say is they can grow only certain types of crops in only.
He has already answered your question earlier. He has said that you can grow certain crops, you cannot grow at all. For example, you try to grow a neem tree in monsoon area like Goa, Mango, Karnataka, it will not grow. It cannot grow. You will try, but it will not grow. But every crop that you grow, if it is growing in an area which is not suitable for it, it will struggle to survive. It may adapt. It may adapt or it may not adapt. You cannot do. But rice is a very adaptable plant. Rice can grow in many areas, but you cannot duplicate it for all crops. But the rule is that if it survives and adapts, then it will grow there. It's saying now this is my house, I will grow it. For example, all the trees of the world they have taken and put in botanical garden in England. How they have grown there? They have grown. They have taken, they have grown. Somehow the others looked after them, whatever it is, but they have grown. But as a general rule, as I said, ensure that it gets adapted to that area and only then. But as I said, take the risk that it will not. For example, pomegranate. Again, pomegranate, many of us try to grow in Goa, which is not possible because it gets that black spot disease. It can be grown only in some other areas where there is nothing. Now you take tea. Where is the biggest pesticide used in tea? When it comes below the natural level at which tea grows. So if you grow tea in Kunur, very little pesticide needs to be used. But you come down to Wayanad and all that and start growing tea, you have to put a lot of dose of pesticide to keep that tea plant going. That's where all the pesticides come into the tea that you drink. If everybody was growing tea at the altitude which is suitable for the tea plant, there would be no need to have pesticide in tea. But because everybody wants to grow tea in areas which are not suitable for tea, this problem starts. What he was talking about organic, I would just like to make one point. This organic has come because of a certain heritage. It is not that this country does not know how to grow organic. Means, up to 1966, entire India was growing food without chemicals. What is that? According to present tradition, it is organic because they were not using any pesticide in any chemicals. 1996. That means for 10,000 years, they are growing food without any chemicals. So that is organic system. Now, if you want to go beyond that, to the very good farmers who are doing organic farming, what have they discovered? They have discovered that if you are able to imitate and follow natural processes, then you will be doing the best organic farming. Understand? For example, if you go to a forest, any forest here, in Tamil Nadu or any Amazon forest, any forest, how is the forest surviving? Anybody is putting chemicals for it? No. Anybody is spraying? Anybody is giving forest water? They are surviving. Because the forest is a self-replicating, self-maintaining system. As he said, the leaves fall, those leaves will provide litter, the organisms will supply, they will convert that into food for the plants, it will go up again, and the whole cycle will be maintained for millions of years. That is what we know as a complete natural system of production, because a forest produces, but it is of no use to us. It produces a certain amount of biomass which falls back to the soil, and a forest also begins to expand its reach. If today it is in this area, you will find that it is growing a little bit further, if it is given a chance. It will keep propagating, moving further and further. So it is growing, but it is looking after itself. Now the best organic farmers today in India are those who are following the forest system. For example, I will give you many organic farmers like this farmer, Nandish, in Nandish you must have heard, Karna. Their flow, the entire flow of the farm looks like a flow of a forest. You cannot distinguish between the floor of a forest and the floor of their farm. The quality of the soil is the same, amount of organic matter is the same, the moisture is the same, earthworms, everything is the same. Because they are following the same natural principles. Well, they say if you are able to replicate the forest on your farm, the natural principles that keep a forest alive, if you are able to replicate on your farm, then you are the best organic farmer. Now we had this discussion in the beginning of how much of Jeevamrut to put, how much of Panchagavya to put, etc. etc. I can show you organic farmers who began with Jeevamrut and Panchagavya. Today they are using nothing. If you are using Panchagavya every year for 15-20 years, there is something wrong with you. You have to use all these materials in such a way in a deficient situation because your soils are in a bad condition. You bring the soil to a state of good health. After that, you should be able to manage without Panchagavya or without any artificial. There are different systems. Dryland farming, you have to adopt a system of cropping which is suited to dryland, to the type of water that it gets. You cannot do any chemical farming in dryland because to use chemicals you require water. If you don't have water, that chemical will not dissolve and it will not be available to the root plant. So what is the use? So farmers have created dryland crops which are actually suited to the moisture regime that is available in dryland. That is their intelligence. So that is why you don't put a wetland crop in a dryland crop because somebody will say that something is wrong with it. You put dryland crops in dryland areas and irrigated crops you put in irrigated areas. But even in the irrigated areas, you don't put all the time irrigation. Sometimes that land will grow without irrigation, sometimes it will grow with irrigation. This can come only if you live in the countryside, you observe nature, you observe what other farmers are doing, you observe what traditional farmers are doing, and you begin to understand the system. If you go by textbook method, I have learned, I've got BSc agriculture and I go and study, then of course you will be a failure and then you will end up as an officer in the agricultural bank giving people loans. That is all that you will end up doing. All this has to be learned, relearned by close observation. There is no way you can get it. You cannot become an organic farmer overnight. You cannot become an organic farmer by reading a book. You have to practice.